A meek hobbit, a bespectacled orphan, and a bored computer programmer walk into a bar. It sounds like the setup of a bad joke, but it is, in fact, the opening to the greatest story ever told, repeated across three of modern culture's most iconic epics. Despite their vastly different worlds, Frodo Baggins, Harry Potter, and Neo are avatars of the same essential hero, embarking on the same timeless journey. On the surface, the pastoral shires of Middle-earth, the enchanted halls of Hogwarts, and the dystopian code of the Matrix could not be more distinct, yet they are all arenas for the same profound transformation, all powered by the same narrative engine, the hero's journey. In this video, we're going to first understand the blueprint created by Joseph Campbell. Then we'll walk through the three acts of the journey with our heroes, and finally, we'll discover what this all means for your life today. To understand the profound resonance of these stories, one must first understand the source of their shared blueprint, the work of mythologist Joseph Campbell. In his seminal 1949 book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, Campbell identified a common pattern underlying myths and religious stories from every corner of the globe. He termed this pattern the monomyth, or the hero's journey. Campbell was not creating a formula for screenwriters. He was uncovering a deep, pre-existing structure within the human psyche. He argued that this journey, a cycle of separation, initiation, and return, is a symbolic representation of the universal human process of growth, self-discovery, and psychological maturation. The hero who ventures into the unknown, slays the dragon, and returns transformed is a metaphor for each individual's path toward wholeness. The journey begins not with the quest for glory, but with a disruptive call that is universally met with fear and refusal, establishing our heroes as profoundly reluctant saviors. Each protagonist is introduced in a state of passive suffering within their ordinary world. Frodo in the insulated comfort of the Shire, Harry in the oppressive neglect of his cupboard under the stairs, and Neo in the alienating drudgery of his life as Thomas Anderson. Their call to adventure arrives as an unwelcome disruption. For Frodo, it is the terrifying legacy of the One Ring. For Harry, a flood of mysterious letters. For Neo, the cryptic message, "The Matrix has you." True to the monomyth, each hero initially refuses the call. Frodo laments, "I wish the ring had never come to me."
I wish none of this had happened.
Harry hesitates on the brink of a magical world he cannot comprehend, and Neo insists, "I can't do this. This is insane." It is only through the intervention of a mentor, Gandalf, Dumbledore, and Morpheus, that they find the courage to cross the threshold, leaving the Shire.
The enemy has many spies in his service.
Passing through the barrier at Platform 9 and swallowing the red pill are synonymous acts. The moment the comfortable prison of the known is left behind for the perilous freedom of the unknown. Upon entering the special world, each hero is forged in the fires of the mentorship, alliance, and symbolic death and rebirth that kills their old self and births their new identity. This stage, the initiation, sees them navigating a new reality with new rules. They find allies in the Fellowship, Ron and Hermione, and the crew of the Nebuchadnezzar, who become their essential community. Yet, the heart of their transformation is the ordeal, a central crisis that functions as a confrontation with their own shadow. For Neo, this is his literal death and resurrection in the subway, where he must defeat Agent Smith, the cold, authoritarian enforcer who represents the system he was once enslaved by. For Harry, the ordeal is his cyclical battle with Voldemort, a villain who is not merely an external foe, but a fragment of Harry's own soul, literalized through the Horcrux. This makes every conflict an internal struggle against his own latent darkness. Most poignantly, Frodo's ordeal is the relentless psychological corrosion of the ring, a burden whose effect is personified in Gollum, a walking, talking vision of the obsessive, broken creature Frodo is destined to become if he fails. Surviving these trials grants them the reward. Neo seizes his identity as the One. Harry gains a deeper understanding of love and sacrifice, and Frodo gathers the sheer will to continue his quest, his reward being not a treasure, but a hardening of purpose. The journey's final act reveals that true heroism lies not in the victory itself, but in the costly return and the integration of the journey's painful lessons into a restored world. The road back leads to one final, purifying test, the resurrection. For Neo, this is his final, effortless defeat of Agent Smith, a battle that demonstrates his complete mastery over the Matrix and his fully integrated self. For Harry, it is his willing walk to his own death in the Forbidden Forest, the ultimate sacrifice that destroys the Voldemort Horcrux within him. For Frodo, the resurrection is the final, desperate push to Mount Doom, where the ring's power finally overwhelms him. His heroism is completed not by his own will, but by the intervention of his shadow, Gollum. In a tragic and ironic climax, each hero then returns with the elixir, but the nature of their return underscores the cost of their transformation. Neo returns as a messianic figure to broker peace between humanity and machines. Harry returns as a mature wizard who has vanquished evil, bringing peace to the wizarding world. Frodo, however, returns to a Shire he can no longer enjoy, too wounded in spirit to find comfort in his old home. His elixir is the safety of the Shire, but his personal cost is so great that he must depart Middle-earth altogether to find peace. The meek hobbit, the orphaned boy, and the chosen programmer, their stories, once viewed as distinct tales of fantasy and science fiction, are revealed through the lens of the hero's journey to be variations on a single profound melody. Yet, the proof of the monomyth's universality extends far beyond these three. The same structural rhythm beats at the heart of a farm boy's adventure in a galaxy far, far away, a young woman's mythic voyage across the ocean, a billionaire's transformation into an armored protector, and even the comedic initiation of a cop into a secret world. This breathtaking variety of genres, from fantasy and sci-fi to superhero sagas, historical epics, and animated comedies, proves that the hero's journey is not bound by time, place, or tone. It is a psychological and narrative constant. Yet, to see these journeys as merely epic fantasies is to miss their most urgent application. The final and most crucial lesson of the return is that the hero's transformation is meaningless if it is not integrated back into the world they left behind, a truth that resonates powerfully in the arc of our own lives. We may not be called to destroy a ring or reprogram reality, but we all are called to leave our comfort zones, face our personal shadows of doubt and fear, and integrate our hard-won wisdom into our daily lives. The monomyth, as decoded by Joseph Campbell, gives shape to this universal process of becoming. It assures us that the path of the hero, the path of the fully realized individual, is open to everyone, from the most unlikely hobbit to the most ordinary person sitting in a movie theater. The journey of the human spirit toward its own wholeness, reflected so vividly in our screens, remains the greatest and most timeless adventure of all. This final act is where the hero confronts the cost of their wisdom. Neo's return is messianic, he becomes a bridge between worlds, his elixir being enlightenment. But the cost is the weight of being a savior. Harry's return is as a sacrificial king. He returns from death itself, bringing peace, but at the cost of his innocence and the trauma of his ordeal. And most poignantly, Frodo's return is tragic. He saves the Shire, but for others, not himself. He is wounded in spirit, unable to fit into his old world, his departure a stark acknowledgement that some transformations are so profound you can never truly go home. This is the ultimate and often bittersweet lesson of the return. The true elixir is never a simple trophy, but the hard-won wisdom forged in the ordeal. And that wisdom always comes at a price. The journey changes you, and the real challenge is learning to live with the person you have become. And that begs the question, what is the purpose of this grueling journey if the end isn't a simple trophy? If the hero ends up scarred, or exiled, or burned with a truth they can't unsee, was it even worth it? The answer is that the journey's purpose is not to acquire a thing, but to become a person. The person capable of holding that wisdom, of bearing that burden, and of guiding others. The trophy is an illusion. The real reward is transformation itself. For Neo, the purpose wasn't just to defeat Agent Smith, it was to become the one. A consciousness so awakened he could see the code of the system and choose to change it, not through force, but through understanding. His journey gave the entire human race a chance at a new reality. For Harry, the purpose wasn't just to kill Voldemort, it was to internalize the lesson Dumbledore tried to teach him all along, that love and sacrifice are the most powerful magic of all. His journey allowed him to become the wizard who could finally break the cycle of violence and protect the next generation. For Frodo, the purpose wasn't just to destroy the ring, it was to develop the resilience and compassion to carry an impossible burden as far as he humanly could. His journey saved the world. And though he was too wounded to enjoy it, his sacrifice ensured that innocence, in the form of the Shire and his friends, could continue to exist. The purpose of the journey is to move from being a passive victim of your own circumstance to an active author of your destiny. The elixir you bring back isn't a golden cup. It's a healing, freedom, or wisdom that you now have the capacity to share. In our own lives, the trophy might be the promotion, the diploma, or the repaired relationship, but the real value of the journey is the person you had to become to earn it. More resilient, more empathetic, more skilled, more wise. You don't just get the promotion, you become a leader. You don't just fix the relationship, you become a better communicator and a more patient partner. The journey's purpose is not to give you something to hold in your hand, but to forge someone new within your soul. And that is a reward that can never be taken away. So, what does this mean for you right now? The hero's journey isn't confined to the silver screen. It is a mirror held up to our own lives. Your call to adventure might be a job offer in a new city, the decision to start a business, or even the courage to have a difficult conversation. That voice of doubt telling you it's too risky, that you're not ready. That's your refusal of the call. The friend who encourages you or the online course you take is your mentor. Starting that new venture or walking into the first therapy session is you crossing the threshold. The ordeal is the inevitable project that seems doomed to fail. The personal loss that shakes you to your core. The moment you have to confront a deep-seated fear. But surviving that ordeal is what forges your resilience and wisdom, your reward, and when you integrate that hard-won strength into your daily life, becoming a better partner, a wiser leader, or a more resilient person, you are returning with the elixir to enrich your own world. You are the hero of your own story. The quest isn't to destroy a ring or defeat a Dark Lord. It is to become the most authentic, capable, and whole version of yourself. Pay attention to the calls. Embrace the thresholds. Learn from your ordeals. Your journey is already underway. So tell me, what is your call to adventure?